Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
And then you just said, hey, I'll go for it, and you kissed it?
No, I was like, may I? It was just like,
why not?
There, and we just like, because there's actually like a couple of shots. There's probably like 3 or 4 taken, but that was the money shot. So
you bet. Hey, did you ever have a white chick before like that?
But of course, I don't discriminate, Howard.
So that wasn't your first white chick?
Nah, I'm an equal opportunity employer, baby.
Look at you, man. So you going to call her up and try and get a second date or what?
Yeah, man, if you could set that up, definitely, man. I was upset I didn't get her phone number, man, but, I had to go to work, so I couldn't really, hop up in the limo and just go down to Plaid and check out the show or anything,
Now, what you should do is you should start going up to different, famous chicks and get pictures of yourself with you suckling their breasts.
I think I found my calling, Howard.
There you go.
Like you and Madonna, and you and
something that I'm very good at.
You and Britney Spears, you and
all music chicks.
Oh, music chicks.
Beyonce,
all those chicks.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Kofi? I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but you seem like a good guy. You want to go to the Rainforest Foundation concert?
Why not?
You can get a lot of pictures there.
April 21st at Carnegie Hall, starring Sting, Elton John. You could probably suck Elton John's breast.
Nah, no thanks.
James Taylor, Bette Midler, Melanie Griffith, Antonio Banderas are all going to be there, okay? Hold on.
Definitely.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Howard.
There's Kofi, who actually got to suckle.
He's the man.
Kofi got
milkman.
The milkman. Yay, Kofi the milkman.
Hey, Kofi.
Oh, you silly wabbit.
Kofi, like everyone else in the media, we hope that you soon get a home as well.
Yeah.
Sure, I have a home, but
You got to move out of your parents' house, though, next. That's
Right.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's
This
not,
might be the first step
Right.
I
in
think
the right direction.
being homeless is actually cooler than living with your parents.
That might
Really?
have been what turned Courtney
I
off.
don't concur.
If Courtney knew you were living with your parents and when you weren't a homeless guy, she probably wouldn't have let you kiss her.
Yeah, it's less of an edge you have now,
You're not as edgy.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, Kofi. We'll give you a prize. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too, Howard.
All right, there's
Don't let the
Kofi.
government take you down.
Yeah, I hear you.
It sounds like in a week you can't help it.
After a phone call we're going to do later in the show, I think it's pretty much done, but we'll be talking about that later. Thank you, Kofi.
Thank you.
I'll probably have to move into your parents' house with you.
Yes. Move over.
I might be homeless too, Kofi, so.
Hold on. All right, that's Kofi. Sound like a nice guy.
That's a nice pull for a guy just walking
Yeah.
by at Wendy's. All of a sudden, you're
Right,
got
you're
some
with Courtney Love.
celebrity breasts.
That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal. Good for him.
You would have never made that move.
No.
Hey, I've been to Wendy's a bunch of times. Nothing ever happened like that.
No, I wouldn't have made that move. You're right, Robin.
You wouldn't have said, hey, may I?
It's a little pushy.
Yeah. Let's go to,
Yo, Howard, what's crack-a-lackin'?
what's going on, BJ?
Not much, yo. I was watching this show called Cold Pizza, and they had Gene Simmons on there, and they had a picture.
Now, hold on, my phone's ringing.
Oh, my.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
That could be Courtney again today.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
Well, hold on a second. Hello? Hello? Who's this? Yeah, baby. All right, later.
Wrong number?
Wrong number.
Oh.
Oh, man, I thought you were the man again.
We had something going on.
It's another booty call.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, so you were saying you were watching Cold Pizza.
Yeah, it's a pretty lame show on ESPN, too. But they had Gene Simmons on. I guess he's doing some solo album. And they had a picture, they're like a poll of Janet Jackson. And they asked him what he thought about her, and he said, he didn't agree with it. And then right after that was you, and he was just bad-mouthing, and he's, you know what I mean, just saying all this stuff. And then he goes, at the end, he's like, yeah, he's immature, but he's a nice guy. He's free-spirited.
Well, we'll get a copy of the tape. We'll hear it.
Gene
And then right after that...
Doesn't sound like a bad thing to say.
I just wonder why he's bad-mouthing you.
I don't know that he did. You know how we get reports that people badmouth us and then you hear it and they didn't?
Okay.
Dude, I'm not lying, dude.
I'm not saying you're lying. I just want to hear it before I go off on him.
Yeah, and then right after you was President Bush. You know what I mean? And then he said, yeah, he agrees with this, and then he doesn't agree with the separation of religion and state. You know, it's retarded. And I hope you don't get off.
Gene's somewhat retarded. I mean, we know that. The guy's in KISS.
Yeah.
You're not talking about a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I've been listening to you since 8th grade, so
right.
I'm 23 years old now, so I hope you don't get off there. Just keep on fighting, you know what I mean?
All right, thank you.
And I'm a sick guy, I have Crohn's disease, and I hope I'll do anything, you know what I mean,
All right.
down in Arizona for anything, you know what I mean?
Thank you, brother. Okay. All right. Hey, a miracle.
The guys in Outcast kept saying at the Soul Train Awards, remember to vote.
Boy, you talk about the Outcast guys. I like those guys. I like their album and everything.
Yeah.
But, man, I was watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on VH1.
Uh-huh.
And they got to induct Prince, who I happen to think is a musical genius extraordinaire, one of the greatest artists of our time.
Yeah, I caught that.
And, it was Outkast, Big Boy, and Andre 3000, and Alicia Keys, who, by the way, has a gorgeous face. I don't know what her body's like, but her face is just stunning.
Perfect.
She's got a great body, too.
And she's got small little boobs, but I like it. And, I mean, just beautiful, but she's such a pompous
I was gonna
ass.
say, you wouldn't like her attitude.
No,
That's
she's
the problem.
I got to pull tape of her on this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because she reads from the teleprompter. You would think she was the Queen of Siam.
And they're bothering her.
Yeah. and Andre 3000 and Big Boy got to induct Prince into the Hall of Fame, and I realize the Hall of Fame is meaningless and bogus, but I mean, just horrible. Like,
What?
When I was a little boy growing up, man, I loved Prince, man. That crap was rocking, man. Like nothing about Prince, all about them, and like how he was big influence, man. Big influence, man. Like didn't have anything really prepared to say, and didn't say anything meaningful about Prince. You didn't learn anything about him. It was just a crap speech. You could tell they totally winged it.
Right.
I felt bad for
They're
Prince.
just there because they're very popular right now or something?
Yeah, and Bruce Springsteen got up and made a speech about Jackson Browne. You would have thought Jackson Browne was the Beatles when Bruce was done.
Yeah, he actually thought about it?
Well, he spoke eloquently. Kid Rock did a beautiful speech for Bob Seger, who, by the way, looks like my Tanta Helen.
My God, you're right.
Bob Seger in so long, I wonder what he looks like.
Bob Seger looks like Kenny Rogers on a bad day.
Yeah, he's all gray.
Yeah, he looked really messy. And but nevertheless, Kid Rock gave a beautiful speech, said some funny stuff and some poignant stuff, and you really, felt like, wow, Bob Seger was important, even though he wasn't.
Yeah, what a nice thing to say about Bob.
Yeah, I started thinking Bob Seger was important when Kid Rock was done. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
He's got a lot of good tunes, but
Yeah.
when you say Hall of Fame, you're forced to make the person sound important because you're inducting them in.
Well, if you're gonna,
Andre 3000 apparently didn't know that rule.
Yeah.
I mean, and Prince maybe.
Is the best of the lot.
Yeah, I mean, really an amazing performer. Come on. I mean, you got to give the guy's whacked out, but
By
you
the
got
way,
to give him
did you
his
see
due.
he's coming to Madison Square Garden?
I'm there. When are we going?
It's in the summer. We got to
Nice.
do that.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a lot of free time.
Yeah, we're not going to, it doesn't even matter what day because we'll be free.
We'll be free. My calendar's wide open. Man, I got so much to tell you. Hey, miracle of all miracles, we got Wheel of Gas today, and it's a miracle. Junior the Farter's coming down to do it.
Well, why is it a miracle if we're going to be off in a week?
It's a miracle we're getting to run it. Wheel of Gas. Yes. It's going to be great. Junior the Farter's going to be down here. He's going to be farting in girls' faces. They have to spin the wheel of gas, and wherever the gas wheel lands, they have to stay next to his ass for that long.
Oh, so it has times on it.
One of the times is like 22 minutes.
Oh, no.
I swear to God.
And what do these girls get?
Yes.
They get fame.
Oh,
What are
fame.
you talking about?
The Wheel of Gas.
They get money. I think all of them want breast implants.
Oh, okay.
It's sponsored by The Punisher, which I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, this definitely is punishment.
The Punisher. We have a screening of that coming up.
Yes.
I hope it's good because I love that comic book.
I don't know the Punisher.
I'll tell you all
What's
about
his
it.
deal?
The Punisher's deal is that he's like Batman, except he kills people, and he doesn't wear a costume or anything. He's kind of like He's an angry dude whose family was killed, his wife and his kid. And
listening to this over the game.
Yeah. And I'm oblivious to it. But he was this dude whose family was wiped out, and he's angry, so now he goes after criminals, but he'll kill them.
Ah.
Like, he won't just
So he doesn't arrest them or have Commissioner Gordon come and throw them in jail.
He doesn't put them in the insane asylum. Arkam, or whatever that is.
Whatever that place is.
Even in the old days of the comics, a guy like Batman would never kill a criminal.
You know what's great? Like the Joker?
Yeah.
In every one of these comic books, he takes gas and squirts it out on people and kills them, and he's responsible for millions of deaths. He's worse than terrorists.
Right.
And Batman gets a hold of him and can really bump him off. And he's like, I have to bring him to the authorities. Batman brings him to the authorities, and it's so not satisfying because they bring him to Arkham Insane Asylum, where all the Joker lives and everyone who's ever done anything, the Lizard guy, all these guys, they all live there at this Arkham.
Yeah, they're all criminally insane, and they're at this one place.
No one would kill these guys.
And they'll probably get away.
There is no death penalty in Gotham.
No death penalty.
And no sane criminal.
Right. I mean, the Pope would execute the Joker. You know what I mean? He'd say, all right, enough's enough.
Because he keeps getting out.
I don't believe in taking a human life, but the Joker, I have to do it.
Right, there's even an episode of the TV show where he poisons the reservoir.
He poisons the entire city's water reserve.
Yeah. So you got to kill a guy like that.
Yeah, people are dropping like flies, but he can't be killed.
Yeah, I got to take a break. I know there's more people on the phone. I got to get to all these.
But does the Punisher suffer when he kills?
He's full of angst because Again, I only read a couple of Punishers. I wasn't a huge Punisher guy, but he has a lot of emotional problems. After, he never shaves either. He's always got like a 5 o'clock shadow.
That tells you.
Yeah.
He's got problems.
He's all sweaty.
So you're saying it's a movie now?
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Who's
Thomas Jane.
And the woman is Rebecca Romijn Stamos.
Oh, really?
Romijn?
Yeah. That's the proper pronunciation.
She's on the cover of some magazine right now.
Premiere.
Rebecca Romijn Stamos. Romijn.
Yeah, how do you get Romaine out of it?
Yeah, right. Romijn. Yeah, she's coming on the show, and she's probably going to go to the screening with us.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to sit next to her and get a little...
Punish her.
I'm going to punish her with my fingers. You know what I ought to do? I ought to reach over and just start fiddling with her during the... I go, hey, here.
Should invite Courtney Love to the screen.
Oh, my goodness.
No, she couldn't. Those two, she couldn't handle Rebecca getting any attention.
Right. Absolutely.
That's why it would be great.
And believe me, Rebecca couldn't handle the Courtney getting any attention either.
Be a great sort of
she'd be
study.
Totally pissed.
Rebecca's a high maintenance chick, boy.
They both are.
Yeah.
In different ways, though.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know who's on the phone? Trudy.
Oh, she was supposed to call in last week.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's Sting's wife. She,
Oh, you ought to talk to her about whether you could have her daughter's hand in marriage.
Yeah. Hey, Trudy.
Howard.
How old is that Coco?
Can we start by a very civil, hello, Trudy, how are you? It's been so long I've missed you.
Hi, Trudy.
Robin.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing?
How old is Cuckoo Styler?
She's 13. She's your daughter's age. Get over it, you perv.
She's 13?
Oh, my goodness.
God.
She's gorgeous.
She's going to be a supermodel.
I'd give you my other daughter. She's 20.
How's she look?
Sort of like your girlfriend's age.
No, my girlfriend's 31.
Okay. Hey, you've made headlines in our newspapers today. Do you know that?
Where are you calling from?
From London, England.
Oh.
What are the headlines?
Okay, a stern response to DJ's gagging. Shall I read it out?
Is it long?
It's a beautiful picture
Good.
of you and your gorgeous girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's just talking about, how people are taking to the streets and demonstrating in the cities where you've been taken off air.
There were riots yesterday over in Palestine.
I know.
Because of us being taken off
Yeah,
the air?
they're upset. Where's
And
Coco?
how everybody, the de rigueur outfit is to have a Howard Stern wig, so I'm going along and getting one today.
How's my baby?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. You and Sting still up to some kooky stuff?
Yeah, but he's on the road. He's in Montreal today.
You know, I got to tell you, I saw Sting on the Grammys wearing a dress, and it really didn't look good.
Really?
What was that all about?
What was that all about?
It's called a kilt, you nunu.
I've never been called a nunu before.
A nunu.
A nunu.
You nunu.
Too bad you're not in the city. I'd come over and visit you today if I knew Sting was out of town. I still want to have some of that tantric sex with you.
You can have tantric sex with me. The thing is, it takes a very long time.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to learn.
You do?
Yeah.
What, are you kind of like a 1-minute man?
My tantric sex would take 30 seconds. I had sex with Beth last night. I lasted pretty long, actually.
Yeah.
She said I gave it to her real good. To tell you the truth, she really was quite impressed with my
How
life.
is your life, Howard? It's really amazing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the way you want to get George Bush out of office. Me too.
Yeah, everybody does.
Wow.
You should see on my website. I'm hearing from hardcore Republicans can't wait to vote his ass out.
Really good.
Really?
Everybody's fed up. And even the latest poll showed it. People want him out. I mean, everyone just had it with the guy. He's been exposed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only my situation, but stem cell research and all the whole religious right hijacking us and the whole thing. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. You guys know my feelings.
It's like you should try getting into America right now if you're like a foreigner like me. You get your picture taken, you get your fingerprints, your iris taken.
I don't mind that.
That's okay.
But why don't they do it to American citizens as well? I mean, you've got some
Well, we're
juicy
already
people
here.
there.
We're not trying to get in.
We're trying to keep you out, not us.
Exactly.
When is Sting going to have a press conference and declare his support for me?
He already does. He goes around the world declaring his support for you.
He does?
Yeah, he loves you.
Well, you know that.
What are you wearing?
We both support you.
Baby, what are you wearing right now? Give my audience a thrill.
I'm wearing my yoga outfit. What can I tell you? It's not that interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of spandex.
Trudy's got a great rack. Nice big boobs.
Yeah, 36C. Thank you very much.
Are those real?
They are very real.
I don't believe it.
Actually, they're 36 long these days. I've breastfed 4 children.
And what's with you and Sting? You guys still swinging or what?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Big
Yeah.
time, honey.
Now you've got her admitting to swinging. I don't know if she knows what she just said.
I
Oh, she
know.
knows.
Swinging is like wife swapping, right?
Oh,
You
so
still
you're
doing that?
that?
Of course we're doing it.
They do like these
We're
two.
making an appointment with Howard and that gorgeous girlfriend of his. I'm not
She's
really
actually-
sure which one I prefer.
My girlfriend's actually been up to your apartment.
You've never been up.
No, my girlfriend has.
When?
She used to go out with a guy who I guess was friends with you and Sting.
To name names.
I don't want to name names now. I don't want to mention her ex-boyfriend's name.
So are you going to get on and plug my fabulous concert at the Rainforest?
All right, the guy's name is Bill Clinton.
Bill? She used to date him?
Yeah, Bill Clinton.
She dated Bill Clinton.
Yeah, while he was president.
Yeah, you remember when he was up at your apartment.
No, she just actually, she's met you a couple of times, about one time or something, I don't know. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so what are you guys doing? So you've been getting on with other girls in front of Sting?
Well, it's rock and roll. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Tell me what you're up to. Come on, baby.
What am I doing? I'm producing movies. I'm acting in
No.
movies.
I don't mean that. I mean like when Sting and you get horny, like, and you want to bring other people around. Tell me like your last great experience.
Yeah, well, the difficulty is the guy has been on the road since 1983. So, the coming round bit is, like, difficult.
Yeah, but once in a while you guys get crazy. Like you go out, you see a hot chick, do you bring her home?
Yeah, very occasionally.
See, I told you.
You really do.
Yeah.
You're not pulling my leg.
Yeah, she's one of those blow-up versions.
She always
No,
changes
she
the
does.
story.
I always hear about these two. I hear little rumblings.
Who,
You just want me to turn you on. You just want me to have phone sex with you, but be careful because you'll get taken off air.
Have you ever been with a woman?
Many times.
Okay.
Sexually.
Sensually, I would say, yes.
Wow.
Really? Ooh.
Oh, I tell you.
Look, I'm European. We do all that stuff here.
she
Come
is
over here. We have more
fun.
fun than you guys.
You don't get jealous when Sting's in the bed with the girls?
Well, he likes to go to those clubs where they're all dancing like naked, and I don't get jealous. I just sort of like hang out and talk to them and
That's hot.
polish my nails and stuff.
And Sting's not doing guys, is he?
Well, he's wearing a skirt.
Easy access.
But does she have
First
other
step.
men? That's what I want to know.
Don't be silly, Robin.
So once in a while you'll share a chick with Sting.
Yeah, I think the last time was like 1996, maybe. And that was fun.
It was.
It was like when one of those German places, where everyone's doing it.
You made out with a girl?
Yeah.
And she touched you?
Well, of course she did. What's the matter with
You
me?
know what I mean.
I've got rabies.
You know what I mean. She touched you and turned you on?
Sure.
You are.
I'm a woman. I'm a very womanly woman, Howard.
You're a vixen.
As well you know.
I bet you Sting wouldn't care if I had sex with Trudy.
Really?
Yeah.
He'd probably want to take the pictures.
He's a little perv. You know, he tries to act like he's all cerebral.
He sings so sensitively.
Yeah, please.
What are you trying to turn us old rock and rollers into like legit people for suddenly? That's boring. We don't want to be there.
Well, with this rainforest thing, we thought you were trying to turn legit.
Yeah, we think you were trying to be the Queen of England. I like when Trudy gets up at the Rainforest concert and makes her speech.
We
haven't. Oh, shut up. Okay, you're going to talk about this
Passion
one,
is stronger than ever. Frankly, I regard this evening as a show of strength. What brings us together
having sex.
is conviction. A deep down conviction about what we should be doing to save our planet.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she's serious.
Serious broad.
It's hot.
I sound like I'm having phone sex in Carnegie Hall.
Andy, what do you want to say to Trudy? Andy. Oh, wait.
Who's Andy?
Andy, what do you want to say to Trudy?
Speaking of the phone, what's up, lady? Hey, I got the phone you last year at the Rainforest concert. You are some sexually activated woman.
Sexually activated. Yeah, she's very sexy.
Oh, my God, is she out there, dude? Hey, Howard, I asked you before, am I going to come down for the interview for the job or what?
Oh, that guy.
Can someone translate that for me?
It isn't worth it.
Actually, it isn't worth it.
The trend spotters tell us no one wants to save the rainforests anymore. They're tired of the color green. Well, I'd like to say something back to those pundits.
Nah.
What's a pundit?
Wrong.
The pundits.
What's a pundit?
Who writes those speeches for you?
What's a pundit?
The color green. I love it.
People say...
Come to me for your elocution lessons, babies.
You know, you could speed up that delivery a little bit. People do want to hear music.
What to say?
Hey, are you guys coming this year?
What did you say, the trend
The
spotters?
trend spotters say.
Yeah, you know, Trudy, you
No
can
one
talk...
wants to save the rainforest.
Trudy, you can talk a little quicker when you give that.
Look,
Speech.
I'm making the most of my 7.5 minutes.
They're tired of the color green.
They're tired of the color green.
And now here's Andre 6000.
Well, I have something to say to those pundits.
What's Melanie Griffith going to do at the Rainforest concert?
Well, come along and you'll get a surprise.
And what is Antonio Banderas going to do? He's
Well,
going
he-
to...
Antonio
Sing.
sings
Yeah,
beautifully.
he's got a great voice.
You know what? I'll pass on that.
So Coco's 13?
You should be ashamed of
I
yourself.
am.
Are you
I thought
gonna
Coco
come
was
this
like
year
18.
to our concert?
I thought Coco was like 18.
No, she's not.
Well, she's going to be a beauty.
And how old are your daughters now?
I got a 21-year-old.
Yeah,
I got a 17-year-old.
yeah.
And I got an 11-year-old.
Okay, so how would you like it if things started hitting on your 11-year-old? You'd feel kind of like weird, wouldn't you?
Hey, he's a freak.
That's perverted.
I didn't know she was 13. We were looking at her. I said, hey, I really dig Sting's daughter. I didn't know she's 13. She's, what are you
was
feeding
that
her?
the Christmas card I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
was
get it
good.
for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, that Christmas card is great. I can pick out which kids I think are attractive.
She's really only 13.
And the older daughter is what? 20 what?
20.
Yeah, I got to get some snapshots of her. I haven't. Why do you keep her hidden
There's
away?
two older daughters. There's a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old.
There's a 22-year-old I had to take a look at.
Yeah. Well, what about me? How do I look in the picture?
You look hot. I told you. I do you.
But you're taken.
Not really.
She's taken unless you're married and you know them.
I'm just clearing the way for you and Coco.
You feed Trudy a little ecstasy, you can get things going.
Oh, I've missed you, Howard.
Oh, Howard, run
Howard.
your hand down my side. I'm full of ecstasy.
Oh.
Oh, Howard, you little pundit.
You ever do X?
I've done everything, baby. I've been around the block and some.
You and Sting have
Where
a
have
little.
you been?
You and Sting have a little X party. Is that what's going on?
I'm not going to reveal that to you.
Ah. Why don't you invite me to some of these?
You and your 2 million friends who are listening.
Please.
Please.
Which daughter do I have the best shot with, the 22-year-old or the 20-year-old? Boy, I'd love to get into that whole Sting situation.
How would you like to have Howard as a son-in-law?
Not very much, really.
I've got something to say to that.
I'd be like, hello, Trudy.
F you.
Trudy is turning green at the idea.
What do those kids do, the older ones?
Well, my eldest daughter is at art school in Paris.
Of course.
And Sting's eldest daughter, Kate, is in university in Bristol.
If those kids want to rebel, the best thing they can do is have sex with me.
Oh.
The world would be
Right.
repulsed.
I'll drop them a line today.
Time for you to act out.
So, all right, the Rainforest concert. Trudy puts this together every year. It's really a fabulous show. I've been to many of them, and I got to tell you,
They're wonderful.
wow, Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Bette Midler. I know Melanie Griffith. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to do something.
Antonio is good to look at, even.
Rainforestfoundation.org if you need more information. And you should put Courtney Love on there, man. We had her on yesterday. She's wild.
Yeah, you want to entertain the crowd.
What is a Baba Booey?
Did she do your show yesterday?
Yeah, she was great.
Oh, she's great. I love her. Let me tell you about Courtney Love, okay? I produced a film last year, and I'm the first producer to ever license a Nirvana song. She let me have Kurt Cobain's Lithium song for like $5,000.
That's nice.
She's really nice.
That is. What was this with Jack and Kelly Osbourne? Did they get on Trudy?
Oh, yeah, they've got some feud going.
What did they say about her?
That Sharon said she would never have Sting and Trudy on her show, and then they talk about why they can't stand Sting and Trudy. Should
I listen to? Did you hear about this, Trudy?
Is this Sharon Osbourne?
Yeah.
No, you're behind the times. We kissed and made up at the Oscars.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me hear what she had to say. Hold on. Let me hear this.
You know, I was looking at something in the notes. They're talking about Sharon's TV show, and they said that there are certain guests that she absolutely will never have on her show.
Like who?
Sting and Trudy and Courtney Love.
Why?
I don't know.
How come Sting and Trudy? I guess your dad must have done
Well,
Trudy.
but no, that's what happened. A while, it was something that happened
Yeah.
in the paper.
Yeah, we're from the same city, you know, Ozzy and me.
Right.
We're Brummies.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear this.
Well, actually, it was, I think, wasn't it you guys who started the whole thing?
Us?
Yeah.
Well, let me hear it.
Sting say something?
Well, let me hear what the kids have to say.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Sting started it, yeah.
Let me hear it.
He opened up some airbase or something and played for them. And he goes, "I'm so honored to be doing this airbase and performing instead of having someone like Ozzy Osbourne and put a bad name to it." So that like set my mom off.
Oh, okay.
The banners we had in England for the series, it said it could be worse. I could be Sting,
and it was like a picture of my dad.
Oh, all right, okay.
And it was just.
See? Wow.
What are you guys doing stirring up the pot?
Look at you.
I think it was Sting who said something once about, you know, I don't want to look like Ozzy Osbourne when I get older. But then, you know, I don't know if he really said that or... anyway, at the Oscars, you know, because of what's happened to Ozzy, and Sharon's really great. I like her.
You better lock up that Coco. I'm telling you,
We
she's
kissed
going to
and
be
made
trouble.
up. Am I being boring?
No. What is it, Gary?
No, then they went on to talk about how they're bored, but hearing them talk about their tantric sex and stuff.
Right.
But then we heard another story that one time Trudy was out to lunch with Russell Crowe, and Russell just started going crazy on a waitress, screaming and yelling and throwing things.
Is that true?
No, you know that whole story about the about something about salmon, isn't it? Like shove your salmon up your whatever. I'm not allowed to say these bad words, am I? Because it'll get you into trouble, Howard. But it didn't happen because Sting and me were there with Russell, and all Russell was doing was kind of like flirting in a really nice way with this girl, saying that he didn't want her effing salmon, whatever, smiling at her, and she was like laughing her head off, and then she takes it to the press and causes this like big furore about how awful Russell Crowe is. Meantime, she was like cracking up laughing.
Trudy's not going to badmouth any of her celebrity friends. These two are cool.
You don't think?
But I was there, so I saw how the story grew into
Russell Crowe is crazy. And Trudy just doesn't.
Anyway, should we have Russell Crowe's worries?
Hey, anyway, Trudy, baby, good luck with the Rainforest. Good luck to you and Sting. And you know I love you guys, and I'm going to try and get over there.
Thank you, darling. I'll send you a freebie if you're a very good boy.
Thank you, my love.
Robin, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Trudy.
Bye, love.
She wants it bad.
Clearly coming on to you.
Right. The concerts are really great. I even hope when the rainforests are gone, which they will be, that they keep doing the concert anyway.
They've got to, because we've grown to love those concerts.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't make it, I want to get a tape of Antonio Banderas at least.
Well, they only make you listen to, you know, some silly stuff about the rainforest for a second or two. Most times you just rock it.
Right. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Who is now dead.
Yes.
He never got to see the day that Jay potentially could shoot himself on television. He'll never get to see that.
Didn't happen in his time.
Yeah. Right after Bill Hicks did that bit, Jay Leno called him and said, "Are we still friends? I mean, we're still friends, aren't we? We're still going to be friends, aren't we?" Yeah. What's going on with Jason Williams?
The trial's still going on. I think it's the defense's turn. And they say that he's going to try to claim that he was in such shock that's why, he tried to make up a story. And
I love that story. Jason Williams, basketball player, doesn't even have to play basketball, gets millions of dollars, like hundreds of millions of dollars to sit home in that big mansion in Jersey.
They keep showing pictures of that house. It's amazing.
Put me in that house. Let me relax.
His story is unbelievable. I mean, he literally played for, I think, 2 years or something.
And gets, what, $250 million?
Something crazy
ridiculous like that?
Yeah, they had to pay him off.
Perfect life, good-looking wife, doesn't know, but guys who, make that kind of money and are young have nothing to do all day, so I don't know.
He actually started up a construction company with his father.
That's what you do.
He's a multi-millionaire.
And what does he need that for?
Who likes to, drive a tractor and stuff.
I know what I'll do. I'll torture my father, make him work. Tell you what, Dad, I'm going to put you in business now. You go to work every day.
You're going into construction.
Let me see some profits. Like, what do you need profits for? You got $250 friggin' million, You want to build something, get some Legos. But what a great story. I mean, so he's bored, I guess. Somehow he hooks up with the Harlem Globetrotters, hires a limo for the night. Evidently, one of the things I read is at some point he's like an angry guy. One time he had his dog. A friend was over and...
Would they have some kind of bet?
They had a bet. The dog was one of these guard dogs, attack dogs. If you even came within an inch of Jason Williams, the dog would viciously eat you, kill you, chomp on you.
Anyway.
So the guy goes, man. This must go on all day at Jason Williams' house,
Different stupid bets.
Yeah, different stupid bets because he's bored out of his friggin' skull. And look who he's bet. Probably the janitor. I'll bet you $250 friggin' million. So he says, the guy goes to him, hey, your dog ain't so tough. I could grab that dog by its hind legs and drag it out the door. So Jason Williams goes, get out of here. You know what I pay for this here dog? Like $10 bazillion dollars. And you can't even get within an inch of this here dog unless I give him the command. So they make their bet, and the other dude goes over, picks the dog up by the hind legs, and drags him right out of the house. Yeah. Jason Williams calmly got up, said, I'll be right back. The guy assumed he went up to get the money. Goes upstairs, grabs his gun, and shoots the dog in the head.
Wow. I didn't know that whole story, really.
No, I read that in the paper. Yeah. I don't know if it's true.
I don't know either, but that's basically the story.
So he punished
100% true.
100% true.
So he punished the dog.
And it was a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
For being a punk.
Let me make a bet here with you. You'd probably say, Jason, how can I possibly bet you? You make $250 million sitting
how
home.
am I going to come up with the kind of cash you can?
But this poor guy, the limo driver, the poor guy must have worked his ass off, I mean, you know what it is to drive a car and sit in the car and wait for people, especially people who are rich who are having a great night.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to somehow feel a little bad for the dude. So I guess...
You know what? Jason Williams took time away from his leisure to have more leisure.
Yeah. He had to go have leisure outside his compound. So then he gets home and I guess he says to the limo driver, you probably feel real bad about your life, seeing as how I was just out partying with the Harlem Globetrotters. Why don't you come inside my palatial estate and really feel bad?
And at the time, he had to think, God, this is going to be great.
His defense should have been, I had to shoot the guy. He'd seen my lifestyle. He couldn't handle living anymore. He said, put me out of my misery.
I was doing him a favor with a mercy kill.
Please, Mr. William, put me out of my misery. So then he... brought him inside. I don't know what ensued. Believe me, between you and me, who knows? Maybe they made a bet that you could drag the limo driver out the door by his hind legs. I don't know what it was. Yes, I can. So whatever happened, I don't know. Jason Williams somehow ends up shooting the guy in the chest. I mean, blowing.
They're doing a tour of the house.
Yeah.
And Jason keeps all of his guns in the bedroom.
Let me show you my gun collection. Uh-oh.
And he took out a gun to show him the collection, and it was, I don't know, some kind of pump action.
Let me give you a little pump action.
And he did his thing, and it went off.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, I own guns. My guns never go off.
Wasn't it one of those sawed-off ones that you could just, like snap into, you know?
Right, yeah, he snapped it and boom.
Right.
You don't wear a bulletproof vest? So anyway,
Neither did my dog.
So then he shoots the guy. I guess the Harlem Globetrotters come running upstairs.
No, they're all there.
Oh, they were there?
Yes.
So they know what happened.
Thing. Everybody was there.
Hey, Harlem Globetrotter, let me show you something interesting here. So anyway, of course, Jason Williams, because he's such a humanitarian, immediately goes, "Oh, no, my life is ruined." The guy's gasping his last...
How did I mess up my incredible life?
So Mr., I don't know the gentleman's name, the limo driver, Mr.
Christophe.
Mr. Christophe is laying there on the ground, a guy who probably has a family and everything, and just trying to make a living, just gasping for air. And Jason Williams and the Harlem Globetrotters are looking down at him, and one of the Harlem Globetrotters goes to do, I don't know what he goes to do, but he puts his hand on the guy's chest, and his hand sinks into the guy's chest.
No, he thought about it.
Oh, he didn't even do that?
No, he didn't do it.
Oh.
He thought about it and said, oh, my hand will go right through his chest, so I won't do that.
Yeah.
And then he started to pray.
Well, you know,
Please, God, do something.
If you're laying on the ground having trouble breathing, and the Harlem Globetrotters and Jason Williams are all standing above you, you know you're effed.
You're done. You're done.
You're done. You're dying. And they're all going, oh, no, what are we going to do?
Nobody, meanwhile, is making a move toward the phone.
No. It was a big discussion. So, I mean, I can't think of a more horrible last sight than the Harlem Globetrotters and Jason Williams standing over you.
A bunch of basketball players jumping.
Yeah. Seacrest Out.
Yeah.
Seacrest Out.
There's a great idea. That would be a great movie if he just methodically started killing the Globetrotters.
Yeah, kill everybody in the house.
Like at the end of Goodfellas, everyone turns them back.
Where's my Seacrest Out song?
There's a Seacrest Out song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great, remember?
Seacrest Out.
Seacrest Out. Yeah, I can't find it. You got a friend or do I do?
I only have
Seacrest Out. Bye-bye.
Oh, Seacrest Out. Bye-bye.
Bad Seacrest.
There was a whole bunch of Seacrest.
Seacrest here
I
on
played it
air.
for you yesterday.
Oh.
Casey, what'd you do with my Seacrest Out song? This is it.
Seacrest Out.
Stuff disappears. Where's Casey? He's what? He's working. All right. We have so many tapes, I don't even know how to get to all of them. I should just play everything for you. I got the Courtney Love tape now. I got everything. Wheel of Gas happening in just a few minutes, too. I got to get that going. Wheel of Gas. Everybody here for Wheel of Gas? What? What? I can't hear you. Where are the girls? Girls not here yet. All right. Let me know when they're here. I thought there were two girls. All right. Wheel of Gas happening.
Is he on antidepressants?
Yeah.
Because the government issued a warning
What'd they say?
that the people on antidepressants have a, they be careful. They could want to commit suicide.
Oh, great. Seacrest Out.
Seacrest. Seacrest Out. Seacrest. Seacrest Out.
All right.
Seacrest.
Thank you, Seacrest.
I like that song.
All right. Well, there's a whole bunch of articles coming out. I keep posting them on howardstern.com, but this one just drives me crazy. And see, here's what's happening. I was going to have Benji's sister call in today. She evidently... What organization is she involved with, Benj?
Creative Coalition.
What is that?
I think it's like Christopher Reeves, a bunch of actors started. It's like actors involved in free speech type issues and other type issues like that.
Yeah. I mean, just by coincidence, she's heavily involved. And according to her, she was going to call in today, but now she's going to call in tomorrow. But I don't want to wait till tomorrow. But according, Gary had a conversation with her, and she says that bill that went through the Congress is now in the hands of the Senate. Mm-hmm. She said the Senate is in a dizzying fast track to approve it. We'll approve it by, when is it, Gary? He's the one who spoke to her.
Originally, it was supposed to be on the vote for tomorrow, but she said now it got moved to next week.
Oh. Why did it get moved to next week, do you know?
She didn't say.
So by next week, they vote on it in the Senate, which is that cockamamie bill where now individual broadcasters are responsible for $500,000.
Well, the Senate bill is different. It says, I think, $275,000.
Whatever. It makes no difference to me. What they can do is bill me for each radio station, and what they do is they have a really sneaky thing they do with the FCC. Like, they just whipped out a broadcast from 3 years ago and decided to fine the radio station. This happened on Friday. So what they'll do is they'll take a whole bunch of old broadcasts while we're sitting here trying to figure out the new rules and what exactly they are since we don't know.
Right. No matter how hard we try to comply, they will find a way.
I mean, guys like John Tesh go on TV and say, well, this is good. It's if you get a speeding ticket, you have to pay your speeding ticket. The FCC is like a bunch of cops enforcing speeding tickets. Well, you know what?
Yeah, but you have to have posted signs.
Yeah, we don't know what the limits are. They don't want to tell you. I was reading again.
They tell you after the fact.
I was reading on one of these articles on howardstern.com, what is the rules for, indecency? And if you read them, they're so vague. And it's so indiscriminate. It's like, you wait and see. Oprah did the same show I did that I just got fined for. Oprah won't get fined. I guarantee they're going to come up with...
That's the problem with the law.
Well, Oprah was very educational. It's not even educational. It's some chick that she employs from O Magazine.
But you don't have to even go that far. There are broadcasters who have done worse and essentially the same thing, have no fine.
Right. So, anyway... They're going to vote on this thing next week, the Senate. Once they approve it, the president signs it. And according to Benji's sister, who's up on these things, the Senate will overwhelmingly approve it.
And there's nothing that can be done.
No. Because it's an election year, and everyone is against indecency. Hell, I'm against indecency. The question is, what's your definition of indecency? That's the problem.
And who is determining it and why?
Right. So people are just in some sort of weird haze about what they're doing to our rights to free speech. Right on the top there of howardstern.com, we got a quote from some old Supreme Court justice who used to say, there's nothing, you can't have the government telling you what's indecent or obscene. So,
right.
Anyway, hey, look, here's my bottom line. If I sound calm, it's because I've already figured out what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. If the Senate passes this bill and the president signs it, I'm out. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try and figure out what the FCC wants from me, only to have them like 6 months from now go, okay, you owe us $10 million.
Right.
And I'll be like, what do you mean? Well,
we thought that was okay. You guys didn't say.
But we went back and listened to 6 years' worth of shows, and we've decided that you owe us $10 million. Oh, okay. No problem. Sure. And actually, they'd have no problem fining anyone $10 million because, after all, they work so hard for a living. They know what it is to earn a buck.
Right.
So, anyway, and then there's this article in USA Today about how much money Clear Channel gives to the Republicans and how tied in they are and how Clear Channel says this has nothing to do with politics, thus suspending Howard Stern. Well, if that's the case, how come Elliot in the Morning hasn't been fired? How come your two guys who just really actually uttered obscenities in Atlanta aren't fired? Why are you selectively choosing people to go?
Because the government doesn't know about them.
Right. You know, when Enron ripped off the public, were there any fines?
No.
Did anybody have to pay a fine? No.
They're still trying to figure out how to blame somebody for that and get something out of it.
Yeah. You know.
And even still, those people will get a day in court. They'll get to fight about it.
I don't even think when our vice president and our president had their DUIs, they paid a fine. I'm not even sure they did.
But they still would get to go to court.
Yeah, so the whole thing's effed up.
Even if you got a traffic ticket, John Tesh, you could get to go to court.
Oh, he's such a moron. But you know what? Let the puppet heads of the world.
Let them have it. It's their world.
I mean, what am I going to do? I tell you something. It's gotten too big to fight. Hey, Shawn the White Rapper. There he is.
What's up, Howard? Hold on a sec. I'm helping some old man out of the building with a wheelchair.
Oh, come on, Shawn. Can't you ever be for real?
Yeah.
Shawn.
I am for real. Look. All right, so, so why don't you start like SOS, Save Our Stern, and stay on the air? I mean, you're acting like you don't even want to be on the air anymore.
I do want to be on the air. Absolutely.
So?
If I didn't want to be on the air, I'd just leave.
Then you want to hear a political program every day.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to hear a political program. I want to hear the same comedy that I've been hearing for years.
No, we're sitting here arguing with the station whether we can do Wheel of Gas.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Howard, many times I've been on the phone with you and Tom, and just the certain things that people say and do. I mean, Sting is probably one of the best people to be behind you because he curses in his songs and they play them on the radio.
That's true. And they're going to have to stop doing that, too.
And what do they say? That's artistic expression or something like that?
No, they're not going to be saying that much longer.
Well, it's really weird because this is just getting so odd. They said that Bono's saying the F word on, what was it, the Grammys?
Yeah, some music awards. I don't remember.
Golden Globes?
Yeah.
Okay. So he said the F word, and the FCC now says that's indecent, but we're not going to fine him because, well, it's the first time or something.
Well, the funny thing is, first they found it not indecent. Then, because of whatever their friends are saying to them, they had to go back and then find it indecent, but they said they're not going to fine anybody.
So the other day in Philly, they were wrecking something on TV Live. The stadium was coming down. And some guy walked up to the microphone and blurted out the F word.
F you.
Now, they got to fine, and by the way, there's places on howardstern.com so that you can send into the FCC and say you heard indecency. Because the FCC is now saying every broadcast, even the news, has to have a 7-second delay. So clearly in Philly, they don't have a 7-second delay. See, we need you to file these objections so that everyone gets in hot water, and finally the madness will stop, and maybe that'll pave the way for us to come back onto regular radio again. Because we're gone. I see the handwriting on the wall. Now, then, on the NBA the other night, some player walked up, was being interviewed, and he said the S word.
Steve, what happened there at the end of the half? Some bullshit, man. That's all I'm saying.
Now, I bleeped it because I have to.
Uh-huh.
But, now, that was aired live. Why wasn't there a delay? Why is it that we have to be on delay? So file the FCC and say you heard indecency. Let's see what they do. Because really, I believe this is selective. I believe they're after me. I think I'm the largest target out there. They don't like a wise ass, the government. They don't like a free spirit. They don't like a guy who gets on the air and says whatever he wants to, even about sex. It just, somehow it's threatening to them, and I can't figure out why, but, hey, man, there's no fighting the government once they want to. What they do is they just bankrupt you. So, that's what's going on, and it's really friggin' crazy. It's just crazy. So I'll get Benji's sister on tomorrow who works with this organization who says by next week or so we'll probably have our...
It'll be all over.
Okay. A lot of people want to see Star Jones in her bathing suit. I don't own the picture. I'm sure the Inquirer, one of them, will buy it. Okay, what else? Jay Leno has a children's book coming out.
Yes, we should get that. I wonder what Jay has to say to kids.
If roast beef could fly or something, it's called. If roast beef could fly.
Yeah, get on the...
And he claims the book came about because trying to remember the story. It's something like the people who own the book company heard his... What did he say? He says...
it was some childhood story of his.
Well, Simon & Schuster called him out of the blue and asked him if he ever thought about doing a children's book. And he said, what do you mean, And he was like, well, our guys have seen you a number of times, and there are certain stories about your childhood that you tell and your family. How about making a book out of them? And and I know that's even bull because I don't think the guys at Simon & Schuster stand around the water cooler talking about Jay Leno's roast beef story.
Books.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. I don't think a thing he says is true. I don't think the guys at Simon & Schuster are fascinated with Jay's childhood stories. If roast beef could fly is about his father his perfect father threw a roast beef out the window because he was angry. But Jay had a very normal childhood. His dad picked up the roast beef and threw it out the window.
We never threw food out the window.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty
Unless
nuts.
it had gone bad.
I've never thrown food out a window.
You know, I'm writing about the time my father beat me with a hot dog. Myself.
Shut up!
So, but I think all the brain-dead idiots who watch that show will buy it. You know? But he's always in the right place.
Do those idiots have children? I thought they were old.
I don't know.
I thought that was the problem. He can't get a young audience.
Right now in the South, they're still taking private parts off the shelves and throwing it into a big pile and burning them to make room for Jay's Mother Goose book. You know, that's what's going on in America right now.
Well, we'll be burning books pretty soon. I'm sure of it.
Well, you know, in private parts, and also Miss America, my second follow-up book, a lot of chains wouldn't sell it because it had dirty words in the book. Can you believe this? A book you could buy.
Right.
There was nothing dirty on the cover. They wouldn't display it.
You'd have to actually buy it and open it to find the dirty word.
If you don't think I'm a target of the Republican Party, you got to be dreaming. I can give you 50 examples of when I've been a target, especially the whole book situation was crazy.
Yeah, there were actually corporations willing to change the New York Times bestseller list.
And then I had a librarian who got fired because she ordered the book for the library. And, you know, but that's good because we should soon have a country full of roast beef Jay Leno books. And a nice, safe interview show. They're sickening. I mean, it's just going to be one sickening America filled with Ryan Seacrest and Jay Leno. So tell me, so I understand you, understand something's going on with you? Yeah, Jay, I just made an anti-Semitic movie. Oh, great. I encourage that.
That sounds wonderful.
That sounds really good.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just have this movie with very, very, you know, sort of a passion play, like based on what Hitler did in World War II when he came to power. Oh, that's great. Okay, so now for your musical enjoyment, Prince. I'm writing a book. If Mavis's vagina could fly. Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I never thought about my wife's vagina, but...
It's going to be one sickeningly sweet America. And
But it'll be so much better for everybody.
all of radio will be, all the shows will be filled with survivor people who got kicked off the island. They're going to each give them a show and let them broadcast.
A reality people will take over everything.
It's going to be great. All right. I've got a million things to play for you, and then also Wheel of Gas, but I don't know if the chick is here yet. With any luck, by 2 weeks from now, you'll be listening to the John Tesh and Marie Osmond show right here on your local station. Oh.
There'll be no reason to get up in the morning.
Then you'll see.
Unbelievable.
Talk about indecent.
Oh.
Yeah, John.
Howard?
Yeah.
Howard, you know, I have a question for you. I completely understand and support your issues with regard to the FCC, but I have two things. One is you know, why aren't you making any comment in regards to John Kerry and the Democrats following along like sheep on this issue? And two, why the flip-flop on Iraq? A couple of months ago,
I haven't flip-flopped.
We should bomb the entire Middle East.
I'm all for bombing the entire Middle East. What has that got to do with it? First of all, number one, I have stated 50,000 times on the air that the Democrats are going right along with this indecency stuff. In fact, some of them are even more vocal about it. But my point is that you've got to blame the man at the top who appointed Colin Powell's son. How do you make a political statement? People say to me, what should we do as fans of the show to take a stand? Teach President Bush and the Republican right wing and the religious zealots in this country that they can't have it both ways. They can't have a free country and then have a country run by religious maniacs. And you've got to vote Bush out to send a message as a Howard Stern fan. I've even encouraged my listeners, you can do it through howardstern.com or go to John Kerry's campaign webpage. Donate $5, $10, $15, $25, $100, whatever you can afford, and write in that you're a Howard Stern fan. It'll make a statement. President.
What would lead you to believe that Kerry is going to be any different on this issue?
He might not be, but you can't leave the guy in office who isn't doing the job.
You make the statement, leave this issue alone.
President Bush
It'll get you voted out of office.
appointed Colin Powell's son. As far as I know, Colin Powell's son hasn't done a goddamn thing with his life except be Colin Powell's son and run a defunct organization called the FCC, which really has no business interfering in free speech. And President Bush doesn't have to sign the bill, but he will because he bows to the religious right. He's on his own jihad. He's as bad as these maniacs over in Palestine, you know, with the long beards and Hamas and blowing up 11-year-olds. This Hamas is taking 11-year-olds, putting a backpack on them, their own Arab children, sending them into Israel and having them blow up stuff. And the 11-years-olds...
Having them blow up, they blow them up with cell phones.
How can you do business with people like this? So if President Bush bows to the religious kooks who are as bad as the Taliban, you got to vote him out of office. And as far as flip-flopping on Iraq, absolutely not. I was all for the invasion of Iraq and still am. The point is, we got a president who doesn't know how to finish the job. He didn't have an exit plan. He lied to us about weapons of mass destruction. He knew what he was doing. Did you see 60 Minutes? He knew about the terrorists and Al-Qaeda and what they were planning on 9/11. And even after 9/11, he said, let's go get Iraq. It wasn't Iraq. You got a president who's running that place like it's his own personal fiefdom. I'm all for the invasion of Iraq. I wish we'd blow up the entire Middle East. But if you're going to go into Iraq, have an exit plan. If you're going to go into Iraq, you got to be honest with people and tell them what you know.
Well, I can't disagree with what you said.
Absolutely not, and I've never backtracked. It's time for a new commander-in-chief, that's all. What do you think, John Kerry can't pay attention to... You know, the Republicans are trying to paint like, well, we're the tough guys. We're the only ones who can handle these terrorists. BS.
John Kerry's voting record doesn't exactly instill a lot
John
of
Kerry's
confidence.
voting record is one of the strongest I've ever seen for the military.
And George Bush didn't have a voting record on these issues, so you took him sight unseen.
Don't believe the
I'm not thrilled with George Bush.
I'm not thrilled with George Bush. I'm not thrilled with John Kerry, but he's all I got, and I got to vote against Bush. And I'll tell you what about Kerry. The difference in character between Bush and Kerry is mind-blowing. Both of them went to Yale. Both of them lived privileged childhoods. But one guy took one way, and another guy took another way. And President Bush can't even look us in the eye and go, my father helped me get out of the Vietnam War. He won't even admit to that. He's still going to give us the BS. Oh, I joined the National Guard. I joined the National Guard so that I could, benefit, so I could help my country. He's still, he's such a pussy. He can't say, I didn't want to go to war. I was afraid. My dad helped me. John Kerry volunteered for the Vietnam War. He won the Purple Heart, the Bronze whatever medal, and several letters of commendation for going in and saving guys' lives, turning around his boat to go help a guy who was dying. There's a big difference in character there, my friend.
All right, Howard, thanks.
Goodbye. Big difference in character. During the Vietnam era, when John Kerry came back from Vietnam and was protesting war, guess what George Bush was doing? Driving his car drunk.
He was drinking.
Driving into bushes. That's why his name's Bush. Look, I'm history on the radio. Next week the Senate votes, and then the president will sign the bill. They're so anxious to get me off the air. And you know as well as I do, my friends, that this show is more important to the freedom of this country than just about anything you can think of. Because think of it this way. If in Nazi Germany there was a show like this, we would have ridiculed Hitler's ass. But Hitler would have found a way to pull this show off the air.
He would have done the same thing that's being
And don't think there's any difference between what Bush is doing with Colin Powell Jr. and signing that bill and Hitler. No difference. When are we afraid of speech? What, because I talk about vagina? Give me a friggin' break. Oprah's doing it. It's all over television. What are we talking about here?
Oh, you're not supposed to laugh when you do it.
Oh, that's right. Oprah's okay because no one laughed. Well, listen to the audience. They're cackling like a bunch of hens. In Germany, it started with book burning. You don't think these religious nuts want to burn books? They kept my book off the shelves. They changed the New York Times bestseller list. You think I'm making this stuff up? I'm not. And we're history and we're gone. But, when Donnie and Marie take over this show, or Jay Leno, maybe Jay Leno will go into radio. So tell me, Courtney, how are things? How's everything going? All right? You're good. You want to perform for us? Yeah, okay. Great. When Jay Leno takes over the show, because God knows he wants to be me, he wants to have all the edge without breaking any rules. He's a great guy. I know what I'll do. I'll just do his bits. Same with Clear Channel. Put on Ryan Seacrest. He's stealing my bits, but he does them clean. No more Wheel of Gas. Today, the Wheel of Smiles here on The Tonight Show. Wheel of Smiles. No room in America for subversives or anybody who has a different sense of humor. And I've read all the articles about Howard's whining and this. Good. Fine. I'm out of my mind. I'm just a big baby. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If you have a chance, read some of the articles on Bush we posted on howardstern.com. Trying to get the word out. See if you can go to the John Kerry website, donate some money. John Kerry is a much stronger candidate and has shown character in his life. And that's it. Bottom line. Take a chance with a new guy. When things aren't going so well, you take a chance with a new guy. I don't know if he's perfect. But at least let's send a message. You want to go to bed with the religious right? You can't be the president. Period. Goodbye. Where's the president who stands up and goes, separation between church and state? No, we got a president who just came out here in New York to Long Island and spoke to a bunch of evangelicals, whatever that is, and told them that basically we're on a crusade. We're going to clean up America. All us religious folk. We're gonna be just like the Taliban. No more stem cell research. It's all out the window, stem cell research. We don't need science. We need Jesus. No science.
We don't even need a military under their ideas. All we need to do is pray a lot, and the Taliban will never come again.
I just wish these faith healers would be fined. The ones who dupe, the kids in the wheelchair come to us, we'll lay hands on you. Stem cell research could actually get those kids out of the wheelchair, but we're not interested in that. We'll just keep allowing faith healers in this country. Yeah, the whole thing's whacked out.
You're right, though. The only way to get a point across to a politician is to vote them out.
Vote them out. Vote them out.
Best thing to do.
Get rid of them.
They understand.
I won't be on this station. I've told you that all along. We're not going to even make it to Vegas. We will not be on this station within the next 2 weeks. And what I'm saying is, the only way to send a message when you're really good and pissed, like our friends in Pittsburgh who can't get the show anymore, Orlando, in Miami, vote the guy out. Because they're taking away my voice, in essence. So we got to do something about it. And this is the only thing to do. And I'm reading more and more articles about how Bush's poll ratings are going down and how influential our audience is. Suddenly they see us as a group of mad white men, 18 to 25 years old, who are swing voters. And by swing voters, I mean guys who normally don't give a crap. But their vote is up for grabs. Sometimes they don't even vote unless they're really motivated. And guess what?
They don't have any strong party ties.
Everyone who's pissed about the show going off the air, register to vote. It's so simple to do. Go on howardstern.com. We have a link right to a place you can register to vote. You do it right over the Internet. You'll be done. Done. And then come November, teach you-know-who a lesson. Him and Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney can go back to Halliburton and make $40 million.
Yeah, he can come out of hiding.
Yeah. Don't worry. He'll be fine. I can't tell you how many Republicans, hardcore Republicans, are writing me saying, Howard, it's time for Bush to go. Hardcore Republicans. They don't like what's going on with the religious right. They don't like it. And as far as the economy goes, you know what? The economy was never stronger under Clinton. Don't believe the hogwash, because Bush can't have it both ways. He's telling you now, well, the economy's bad because of what Clinton did. But then he turns around and goes, our military... Wasn't Bush the guy saying that our 2 divisions of our military during the election, he was saying this, aren't ready, they're not prepared to go to war?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Bush took Clinton's military right into war, and you see how fast they wrapped up the Afghanistan mess? That was Clinton's military. If you're going to blame the economy on Clinton, you got to blame the military on him, too. So what's the truth here? Which is it? I suggest to you that a Democrat can run this economy just fine and make tax cuts and do all that other crap. Just the same thing. What do you think? Nobody went bankrupt while Clinton was in office for 8 years. I didn't see any evidence of that. So a lot of people make a lot of money. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
Hi, this is Gary Delabate, the producer for The Howard Stern Show. I'm Howard's right-hand man. I set up every aspect of the show, such as booking guests, sorting through materials, and keeping the show on track. But my true love is making sappy, estrogen-filled home videos to girls that won't return my calls.
I don't know how else to say it. I lost my lover, and I lost my best friend. And you lost your lover, and you lost your best friend. Okay, so that part's pretty even. But you gained a lover, and you gained a best friend. I gained a couple of lovers, or I gained one lover. But I gained no friends. I
take true pride in all my blubbering and boo-hooing.
There's nobody there to come home to call, to tell all the great stuff. And like right now, I feel my professional life is like at a 9, and my personal life is at like a 2. You know, and it's been so hard up until that point. I always thought that that they were kind of even. Like I wasn't really happy professionally. I didn't really have everything I wanted personally. Now I really feel great about the way work is going. And of course, my curse on that is to have no one to share it with. So in a lot of ways, it sucks.
So if you have ever lost your best friend and your lover, or you feel like you would like your personal life to raise from a 2 to a 9, or if you would like tips on removing every ounce of testosterone from your body, please keep listening. I'll be waiting with a skirt on. Thank you.